Follow the sultry sound of my voice. All right. Hey, everybody! Welcome to the Captain Quail Vlogcast. My name is Philip. I'm one of the co-creators of Captain Quail. I'm here with Allison, the other co-creator.
Hey.
Our friend Mark.
Greetings.
Our friend Amanda.
Hey there.
And our good friend Nicole.
Hey.
This week, this episode, you get to watch Captain Quail 62 get drawn while we talk about pretty much anything that pops into our heads. I'm going to start with Mark. What have you seen, read, played, watched, or experienced recently that has made you go, wow?
Well, I recently decided maybe I'll give JRPGs another try.
Oh, Lord, where are you starting?
You brave soul.
I'm playing Persona 4 Golden on the Vita. Yeah, that's actually really interesting, and it's actually making me reconsider anime. But at the same time, I'm like at the 5th hour of the game, and I'm being gated by tutorial after tutorial, and it's taking the control away, and I've been getting so frustrated, I've turned it off in spite of quite a few times now.
But will you turn it back on?
Yeah, I have turned it back on because it's catchy. It's got a nice opening theme. Okay.
I feel like that's implied, but you have to have turned it back on to turn it off again.
That seems like a truism of life. Like, you must turn it off to turn it on again.
Yeah, I hate to represent my animosity towards the design, I have to start the game again and then go, but no, I'm not going to do this, Persona. Atlas, you should be ashamed.
Well, thanks, Mark. Allison, what have you seen, read, watched, or played recently that has made you go, I'm amazed?
Well, I don't know if it would qualify under amaze, but how about super duper excited? And you having, had to suffer through hearing about this from me over and over again. Robocop! For some reason, I don't know why, but the original Robocop just really appealed to me on some strange level that I don't understand. And, one day on the Sci-Fi Channel, they were playing a marathon, and I sat down and I watched it, the first one, and I just, refused to move. I was just like, this is the best thing, and then the second one, and then the third one, and then I was still like, that was corny, but I loved it. And yeah, so having the remake come out, I know, some people aren't crazy about it, but I don't know, there's just something about it's a cop, and a robot, and a person that's a cyborg, that just sort of, I don't know, makes me really happy, I guess.
The movie's got the creepiest thing ever.
Oh yes, yes, spoiler alert here. He is a cyborg, so has, human parts and robot parts, but in this movie, they went ahead and showed the human parts without the robot parts, and it was like, wow, pretty awesome effects.
So the first movie is rated R, and people apparently consider it a horror movie, because it does have a lot of gore, but having watched the original Robocop and having watched the new one, I was way more freaked out by showing the, 5 human parts he had left. That was scarring a little bit. Just a little.
Well, it's also kind of like that was an anatomy lesson, It's like...
Hey kids, here's what's inside you.
I'm sure that was their intent, yes.
It's now they can show it in schools as educational programming.
Yeah. My kind of favorite part about that scene was though, the camera just zoomed in and then panned up and then panned down and around and just look at this CGI, look at how good it is. Our artists worked so hard on this. And it's I couldn't really take that scene seriously because of that. And it was just running through my head that that's exactly what they were thinking.
It's kind of like in I think it's Portal 2. There's a sign you can find in the game that says if you see an implosion happen, look directly at the implosion. And it's because they had this great animation for it, and they wanted people to look at it.
Is that really the reason?
Yeah.
Wow. I remember seeing that sign and thinking, that seems like anti-advice, that they're just trying to mess with me, and I should not follow that advice.
I mean, it works in, the lore of the labs, right?
Right.
But yeah, they had a really great animation they were really proud of, and they wanted people to look at it.
I kind of thought it was just the opposite of the cool guys don't look at explosions kind of thing.
Good one.
But they do look at implosions, right? Because the inverse is that what you're
I
going
guess
with?
so. And then they get like sucked in towards it, and then they're closed in the black hole forever.
All right, Nicole, what have you seen, read, watched, etc. in the past whenever that has made you very excited?
Pets versus furniture. That's the thing that's going around.
The new game from PopCap.
That would be hilarious.
That would be great. So tell us about Pets versus Furniture.
It's basically just watching gifs of pets that are stuck in furniture and trying to get out, and it's really amusing watching them in their mild distress.
By the way, I'm going to try to include links to everything that we're talking about in the video description, so look out for Pets versus Furniture. Amanda, we come to you.
It is my turn, isn't it?
Yep. You asked that you could, build up to this. We're saving the best for last.
Oh, and now you say that, and I feel like what I've come up with isn't the best out of all those things.
Too bad.
Well, it is. It's a little bit different. I don't know where all of our viewers are, but here in California, they just passed a law for trans youth to be able to use whichever bathroom matches their gender identity, which is
Nice.
off the charts awesome. Like, that's enormous.
Yeah. And that's the coolest thing you've seen?
That's the coolest thing I've seen.
All right.
Well, now I feel like a jerk.
Hey guys, I just wanted to say that the best thing I saw was this really radical, social movement change for the better that's gonna bring us together as a society. What did you do? You played video games? Oh, that's cute.
And
I'm that person now, aren't I?
you are that person.
No, you're just conscious on a whole different level. We're just glued to screens.
And looking at cats. All of the pictures of cats.
Of course.
Hey man, I like to mix it up with pictures of chickens. That's pretty great.
Allison is so dedicated to chickens that she has created an entire chat channel for nothing but pictures of chickens.
Well, I mean, I was kind of flooding our random, so I felt kind of bad.
So I just happened to notice that where we are kind of in the video is Allison drawing rocks, and that has been so much of Allison's time with this comic recently that I'm going to let her spend a couple minutes talking about her rock technique.
What is there to talk about? Like, I don't even know. It's just like, I splash down some color, and then I'm like, well, okay, now I need a contrast, so I go darker and make some scribbles, and then I'm like, well, now I need some light, so I make some light scribbles, and then I sort of smoosh them around a little bit with like a water effect brush, and then add geometric lines to make them actually look like rocks. I sort of try and keep in mind like that 3D shape in my head of this is rock. And yeah, it's not that interesting. But I think I've gotten better at it, actually. If you look at my first drawings of rocks to now, I think they're more rock-like.
I have to say, watching these videos, I am really amazed that the cursor keeps moving and the comic keeps developing, rather than there's this nice little gap where the cursor is standing still and it's just assumed you're gallivanting on some web page somewhere, just I'm gonna take a little 10-minute break.
Well, I mean, I do try and pause it. So the one thing about making these videos is that it has encouraged me to be a little bit more focused and on task while I'm drawing. I think previously I was a little bit more inclined to pause and chat with whoever was around or get absorbed in whatever's on the TV. And now I'm just no, I gotta work on this because it's recording. And so I try and break it up in as few chunks as possible because I'm doing this through VirtualBox and it's not a real recording program. It's just record the stream that's passed through to the host machine. And anyways, so yeah. There's no real good pause function. It's basically just end your file and start a new one.
Speaking of getting distracted by television, I think we've talked about this in some posts before, but most of the people in this room have been infected by House of Cards, and I think we're slowly trying to infect the other people in this room by House of Cards. We're not going to talk too much about it other than saying if you're over 18, you should go watch it. If you're under 18, you should make sure you're watching it with your parents. But
It just sounds like a 90s PSA, just kids,
You know-
make sure you ask your parents' permission.
I'm
you
sorry,
know what
did
you
you...
are is that you're that guy on the Disney Channel who says, go to DisneyChannel.com, but make sure you get your parent or guardian's permission before you go.
Did you not see the
Or have
subtitle
them-
for this episode? That
Have
was
them
Captain...
surf the internet for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you not see the subtitle for this episode, which was Captain Quail, the after-school special?
Is that, are we going to have an anti-drug PSA later? Just say
Would you
no,
like to do one
kids.
right now?
Just say no.
You
Captain
have,
Quail doesn't do drugs.
Captain Quail does not do drugs. He just does worms. Kids, don't do worms.
It's not a good way to lose weight, guys. You don't want a parasite living inside you.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
Thank you, Mark, for taking that in a direction that I hadn't even considered. Normally, I'm that guy in the room, but you have taken the honor. We'll make you a crown.
Hey, that's cool, man. I would love to be king.
gonna say that guy on it.
Hey, that's cool. I could be that guy king. Like, that's fine by me. As long as there's king on there somewhere, or that the crown communicates some kind
It's
of
gonna be a Burger
royalty.
King crown.
His Royal Highness, that guy. Did everybody in this room do Dare? Yes.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
I will say I legitimately did not know what drugs were until that Dare
Yeah,
program.
same here. Like, I
And,
was
like-
not aware of them whatsoever.
And then all of a sudden they were just walking around like, these are joints. You better not mess around with these.
We're gonna get some angsty preteens who are like, yeah, man, forget Dare.
Yeah, man, the establishment is not cool.
says the hipster in the room.
Wow, yeah, thank you. You can't see at home, but Mark is sporting glasses, facial hair. He only drinks craft beer. He works in video production, and he would like to own a fixie. Ladies, this is the guy to catch.
You didn't include my black, probably borderline too small T-shirt, my skinny jeans, or like my boat shoes that I'm wearing, or you could have done so many other things.
I could have, but I figured those were the highlights. Nicole, what were you saying?
It's like that sounds like the opening for a beauty pageant as they introduce each contestant into the room.
Ladies, he drinks PBR and rides a fixie. He is the most eligible hipster bachelor.
And to this recording session, it doesn't help but I brought a growler of local craft beer from one of our city's own like brand new craft breweries.
In case I'm going to continue the PSA trend. Kids, don't drink until you're 21, unless you're with your parents, and then whatever, man.
Ask your parents' permission before you try beer.
There you go. I think we're going to wrap it up, but I'm going to go around the group and give everybody a chance to say last words if they would like, starting with Amanda. We'll go in reverse order.
Oh, that was just rude.
I know, right? You're welcome.
We hadn't planned this one beforehand, but you guys should definitely tune in next time. I might not actually be on the next one.
We'll
But
see.
You should tune in anyway, because
Maybe-
they're cool even without me.
Maybe we'll Skype you in.
Oh, well, that'd be nice.
Wouldn't it?
It would.
Nicole, any last words?
No, I think you guys have covered it.
Mark, any last words?
Kids, to help with your podcasting skills, take improv classes. Don't worry about it. In college, it's a good investment of money.
Oh, I feel like next time we have to talk about student loan debt just to round out this conversation. But Allison, any last
fine.
words?
You gotta bring up those wounds.
Everything is awesome.
Everything is cool when you're part of a team. And with that, we are going to end it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and catch the next episode of the Captain Quail Vlogcast.